J canvasses constitutional roles for deputy governors. Senate probes 11 trillion naira refinery repairs, summons Kiari. EFCC chair orders staff to declare assets. Reps fault CBN's forex ban lift. NECA kicks. To the major story on the Punch, multiple taxation. Tinubu panel asks government to drop 190 taxes. OPS blames states. And there are two riders to that story. Panel okays 10 levies, says 200 taxes burdensome. Lobbies National Assembly, states. And the second rider, President endorses tax reforms. Panel to address FIRS pledges implementation. DSS nabbed suspected terrorist wife, recovers 150 AK-47 rifles. We move on to the red corner of the Punch newspaper. Lagos cancer doctor Olale bags life jail for rape. And finally, this one says San Nigerian students. I'm not sure this is so clear. Philippines police file murder cases against suspects.
Right, let's move on to the Tribune newspaper this morning. Senate justifies purchase of 160 million naira SUVs. That's the main story there on the front page. It has the riders. Says Nigerians should examine lifestyles of ministers. Probes 11.35 trillion spent on refineries and maintenance since 2010. Reps invite CBN governor over lifting of FX ban on 43 items to probe Benue Bank robbery. That's also coming from the Tribune this morning. Southwest governors visit Akeredolu in Ibadan. Ondo deputy governor tackles assembly over letter to CJ. Tells CJ to disregard letter to investigate him. That's also coming from the Tribune this morning. Federal government unveils plans to reduce collectible taxes, says Nigerians burdened by over 200 taxes. That's on page 21 of the Tribune today.
All right, we move on to the Vanguard newspaper. Our first story, Southwest governors visit Akeredolu as motorcyclists avert protest in Ondo. Nigeria to vaccinate 7.7 million girls against cervical cancer. CAC uncovers 189 fake companies used in securing land allocation in FCT. And away from that, can the Supreme Court satisfy Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi? That's an editorial. Bayelsa Guba polls, INEC releases amended candidates list, removes APC silver. My boss deceived me into donating my kidney over empty $20 million promise. This is from a driver. NDDC clerk wants Abia Imo Undo expelled. And some more stories. Court sentences Lagos doctor Olale to life imprisonment for raping wife's niece. Still on the Vanguard newspaper, Delta Police parade man for allegedly flogging teacher to death. We'll take a couple more stories from the Vanguard before moving on to another paper. SUVs. We considered cost, bad roads before approving Land Cruisers. Senate. Presidential poll. INEC must probe why upload of elections to IREV. And finally, we're committed to reviving nation's ailing economy. Tinubu.
Okay, let's go to the Guardian newspaper now. Insecurity defies 261 National Assembly motions, 20 legislation, 12 trillion naira in 16 years. That's a lead story there on the Guardian this morning. Truckers blame enforcement architecture for poor performance at Lagos Sport. That's also coming from The Guardian. Senate reopens probe of 11.35 trillion turnaround maintenance cost and 1.6 trillion loss on refineries in the country. That's also coming from The Guardian today. Katsina governor flags of palliative distribution in Daura. That's the Buhari's hometown. That's also coming from The Guardian today. Corporate Affairs Commission uncovers 289 fake companies. Coming from the Vanguard Guardian as well. Troops neutralize 9 ISWAP terrorists, arrest logistics supplier in Borno State. ECA dips to $473,000. That's excess account as state, federal government, local government areas share 903 billion naira. Off-season poll, court judgment impeding preparation. INEC lament. That's also coming from The Guardian today. Lagos to eradicate open defecation by 2025. front page of The Guardian.
All right, some stories out of the Nation newspaper. We prioritize vulnerable for palliatives. First lady to girls get vaccinated against HPV. Oil thieves deploy CCTV mortar launchers along pipeline routes. U.S. court rejects request for FBI's report on Tinubu. Akeredolu receives Sanwo-Olu, Makinde, Abiodun, Oyebanji. Federal government unfolds forex, tax, jobs, investment policies. And some more stories out of the Nation. Land racketeering rocks FCTA. And we take some more stories here. This one says INEC court orders slowing down preparations for Kogi. Imo Bayelsa polls. Clark seeks exclusion of Abia Imo Ondo from NDDC. 288,266 apply for police job in 1 week. Senate probes 11.35 trillion naira spent on refineries, in 13 years. Court orders PDP to replace Ayawo as national secretary. Senate defends 160 million naira SUVs for senators. Declare your assets, EFCC chairman orders staff. And we take some more stories before we move on to another paper. And this one says, First Lady expresses concern over high incidence of cervical cancer in Nigeria. And finally, panic as students allegedly detain EFCC operatives in Ibadan.
Okay, let's go to the Daily Trust this morning. War on Gaza. United Nations Secretary General accuses Israel of violating international human rights law. That's the lead story there on the front page of the Daily Trust this morning. Says, we must oppose anti-Semitism and anti-Muslim bigotry. Israeli ambassador calls for Gutierrez's resignation as Israeli police shut down Al-Aqsa Mosque. Front page of the Daily Trust. Coming from Daily Trust, Kogi Bayelsa Imo governorship polls. INEC chairman raises alarm over violence. Front page of the Daily Trust today. How banditry forced Zamfara residents, out of their homes. That's coming from the Daily Trust as well. Senate demands exotic cars for members, says Nigerian roads are bad. That's on page 4. Bandit raid Kaduna Mosque, gunned down imam and worshippers. That's on page 8. Lagos doctor bags life jail for defiling wife's niece. That's also on the front page of Daily Trust today.
All right, we go on our first commercial break of the morning. When we return, it will be time to dive into the analysis. Do stay with us.
We can bet that you've never listened to radio like this before.
You can bet that you've never listened to radio like this before. It's the voice of happiness. 32 FM 94.9.
tí 9 mobile network naija gangan bá jáyọ rẹ̀ èrè ńlá ń dúró dè ọ́ nígbàkúgbà tí o bá nílò dátà sí láti wo sinimá tàbí gba oríṣiríṣi àjàbalẹ̀ eré ìdárayá 9 mobile wà fún ọ pẹ̀lú 1,500 naira péré wàá jẹ ìgbádùn 8 gigabyte látọ̀dọ̀ 9 mobile o tún lè fi 9.5 gigabyte ṣe ìfàjẹ pẹ̀lú 2,000 naira péré àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ darapọ̀ mọ́ 9 mobile lónìí tàbí kí o tẹ star 301 hash láti yan dátà olówó pọ́kú tí o ṣe gbẹ́kẹ̀lé 9 mobile wà níbí fún ọ wà níbí fún Naija.
Ogun àtọ́pẹ́ kó máa jẹ́ tolúwa lórí òkè ìyanu ìlara ẹ̀pẹ́ ọdọọdún ni annual marathon miracle festival programs máa ń wáyé ọjọ́ mẹ́ta gbáko pẹ̀lú ọ̀kan òjọ̀kan ètò lórí òkè ìyanu ìlara ẹ̀pẹ́ láti gbólúwaga àkòrí glory to glory 2023 lábẹ́ àkóso bishop and prophetess Lucas tolúwa ń lò ní sáwa 25, 26, 27 October 2023 lọ́jọ́ àkọ́kọ́ ẹ pàdé prophet Sam Ojo prophet Fẹ́mi Òní prophet Taiwo Ojo níbi tí àdúrà today yóò ti máa rọ̀jò wọ̀wọ̀ mẹ́wàá àárọ̀ dago mẹ́wàá alẹ́ lọ́jọ́ kejì evangelist Tọ́pẹ́ Àlàbí evangelist Ebenezer Obey pastor Adélakùn Ayẹwà Dare Melody Chigozi Wisdom Adegbodu Twin Dare Justify Remilekun Amos Elijah Akíntúndé Ọlọ́run ò sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ aago mẹ́wàá àárọ̀ sago mẹ́wàá alẹ́ mọ́jọ́ kẹta àṣekágbá ló gbé gbogbo ẹ̀rù October 28, 2023 Rose Love Foundation Empowerment 2023 níbi tí gbogbo ẹni tó kù díẹ̀ káàtó fún ti gba òbítíbitì ẹ̀bùn pẹ̀lú ọ̀kan òjọ̀kan olórin ẹ̀mí ọ̀rọ̀ tìǹlẹ́nu Lanre Da Silva àti Dr. Ọlọ́ládé Valentine Màmá Olúṣọlá Ọbaṣálálága
telephone 07059458718.
ìpàdé di Mountain of Miracle Ìlara Ẹ̀pẹ́ àmọ́ retí yín o olùgbàlejò àgbà Bishop and Prophetess Lucas.
I have a little cup, sir, in my little chest, sir. Anytime I cough, sir, it makes a heavy sound,
I
sir.
see. You have a cough. I know just just what you need. I'll give you Uniplex. It will clear your chest fast. Fast, fast, fast. Clear your chest fast.
Uniplex. Uniplex.
Uniplex cough syrup gives you relief from sore throat, cold and chesty coughs. Manufactured by Daily Needs Industries Limited. Uniplex cough syrup is for children and adults.
Uniplex. Uniplex.
If symptoms persist after 2 days, consult a doctor.
My name na Taiwo Kuka.
My name na Kehinde Kuka.
We be twins.
We small. Mama and papa then they joke say now only one pikin then they expect. But not two of us them get.
Actually, now me then they expect to. Now she then get as a wolf.
I beg you.
Na me be the golden child.
Anyway, our life be like this Momo 100% recharge bonus. When we say you go get double of any amount where you recharge.
Go recharge your MTN line now for Momo app or dial *671# now.
Make Momo summer you better bonus.
Download the Momo app now or dial *671# to enjoy. Momo, better pass cash.
My son has a football match at school today, but looks tired already, wearing his boots slowly, like someone turned down our playback speed. But with Golden Penny Choco, he eventually comes alive. Now Junior is back on his feet to take on his day. Cause I make breakfast time, Choco time.
Golden Penny Choco for everyday energy.
Tọ́jú ọ̀ràn yẹn fún wa tọ́lọ́run làbọ̀ wá lọ́rùn òní ká jọ́sìn fóun lọ́ra àfẹ́ lọ umura.
Asalaamu alaikum gbogbo Mùsùlùmí. Ilẹ̀kùn umura December tún ti ṣí sílẹ̀ láti kọ́ wọ́ọ̀rìn pẹ̀lú Alhaji Sheikh Muhyiddin Ajani Bello. Ogúnjọ́ oṣù kejìlá ọdún 2023 lágbéra. Káàsì padà lọ́jọ́ kẹta oṣù kìíní ọdún 2024. Ọjọ́ mẹ́rin ní Medina, ọjọ́ mẹ́jọ ní Mecca. Àpapọ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀ ìrọ̀rùn ló bá dé. Ilé-iṣẹ́ alálùbáríkà Aljana Hajj and Umrah Service Nigeria Limited ló ń pè gbogbo wa. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bákan náà, àǹfààní ti ṣí sílẹ̀ láti tètè máa fọwọ́ sílẹ̀ àti láti máa sanwó díẹ̀díẹ̀ fún Umrah Ramadan àti Hajj 2024. Ilégbé ìrọ̀rùn tí ò jìnnà sí haram àti mọ́ṣáláṣí ànábì Madina. Sìyára ọ̀fẹ́ lójoojúmọ́. Oúnjẹ àjẹdọ́wẹ́kẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀mẹ́ta lójúmọ́. Tó fi mú ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ètò tí ó mú ká ṣe àṣepé Hajj. Ajẹ́ pé a máa ń fà kókò ṣòfò mọ́. Ẹ wá darapọ̀ mọ́ àwọn hujjah lọ́fíìsì Aljana Travel Hajj and Umrah Services Navada Plaza Elewure bus stop opposite Liberty Stadium suite 140/142 Liberty Road Ìbàdàn. Fún ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé 0904449445. Umura oṣù kejìlá ọdún ìpẹ̀lú bàbá wa Alhaji Sheikh Muhyiddin Ajani Bello. O gbọ́dọ̀ gbẹ̀yìn ń bẹ̀.
Give malaria a double punch of artesunate and amodiaquin. An effective combination that Camosunate. Camosunate. Camosunate is anti-malaria therapy. Camosunate. And you will bounce back to life. Camosunate. Comes in 4 different parts for different age groups. Below 1 year, 1 to 6 years, 7 to 13 years, 14 and above. Camosunate. Camosunate.
Camosunate, effective anti-malaria for all ages. Marketed by Janet Pharmaceuticals Limited.
If symptoms persist after 3 days, please see your doctor. Read the leaflet inside.
I'm living the life because I get this
Hey, kọ́ńbù ẹ̀kú àlejò emúgbòǹgbò ọ̀nà ẹ̀kú àlejò ẹsẹ̀. Ìbàdàn nílé Olúyọ̀lé ẹ̀kú àmójúbà Tizeti Network Limited. Pẹ̀lú Tizeti, ìlò omi òjò lẹ́ẹ̀ máa lo ayélujára íńtánẹ́ẹ̀tì ní yàwàlù. Torí pé gbajúgbajà nílé iṣẹ́ Tizeti Network Limited. Níbi ìpèsè ayélujára lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà fún ilé iṣẹ́ ńláńlá àti olókoòwò kéékèèké lábẹ́ àbúradà Tizeti. Ẹ lè browse, kẹ́ stream, kẹ́sì tún gbá géèmù bó ṣe wù yín láì níkọ̀sẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ìlànà ẹgbẹ̀lẹ́mùkú data. Kèé máa ṣeré, ìwọ ni kó má sọ̀fànù. 12,500 naira péré lẹ́ẹ̀fì jẹ mùlá data fódìdí oṣù kan gbáko lábẹ́ àbúradà Tizeti láì níkọ̀sẹ̀. Ẹ kàn sí wifi.com.ng/OYO. Ẹ sì lè pe 0122987886 tàbí kẹ́ tẹ àtẹ̀jíṣẹ́ sí internet@wifi.com.ng. Ayélujára ní yàwàlù.
32 FM 94.9. Filling the world with laughter.
Welcome back. This is 32 FM 94.9. It's Break It Down Papers View right here on your laughter station. My name is TOBA Yusuf and I'm here with
My name is DENIKE Ademwago. We have Mr. Femi Olukunle. He's going to be diving into the analysis for us this morning. Good morning, Mr. Femi.
Morning, Mr. Femi.
Good morning, Nick. TOBA, good morning.
Yeah, great to have you.
Please, good morning.
Great to have you. So we'll dig into the analysis right now, and we'll start off in the National Assembly, where members of the Senate have invited Mele Kyari, the CEO of the NNPC Limited, over the trillions of naira that have been spent on turnaround maintenance on refineries across the country since 2010. I mean, we've been talking about how our refineries have been moribund, the fact that we need to be refining our product here to tackle the various problems in the oil and gas sector, from the fuel scarcity, even the theft of the crude oil itself. But on the other hand, there is that hanging fruit of, money spent on turnaround maintenance with nothing to show for it, actually. The Port Harcourt refinery, billions of dollars, was signed in a contract by the former Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timi Silva, a few years ago. We haven't seen any results, regardless of that amount of money being spent on these refineries. So what do you make of this move to probe this money once and for all by the Senate? And do you have any faith whatsoever that it's going to yield any kind of result, maybe unearth the mystery that has always clouded the oil and gas sector in the country?
Okay, thank you very much. The probe is long overdue. Given the fact that the only product that Nigeria relies heavily on is this petroleum product, whether it is downstream or upstream. That's what our economy relies on. So the probe is long overdue. Now, Nigerians know that in this country, rain has fallen and we have received sunshine, but the grass has refused to grow. Rain fell, then we had sunshine, the grass refused to grow. They have spent humongous amount of money to maintain the refineries, and the refineries have not refined a pint of petroleum products for us in this country. That means we have wasted the money that had been spent on the maintenance of the refineries, and that tells us that turnaround maintenance, as they called it, it had been an avenue for humongous stealing, monumental stealing of Nigeria's money. It is stealing in high places. That's another name we should give it. Stealing in high places.
So what are you hoping to see from this probe? What are you hoping that it's going to reveal?
The probe is good.
Yes.
It's good, but it is very, very late because it's long overdue. But it is good to ask questions. Ask terrible questions from not only Mele Kyari, the past leaders, the past administrators of NNPC should be called to answer some questions. And the past ministers should be called to answer some questions, because if you are a minister and you apportioned certain amount of money for certain thing to be done, and that thing is not done, and you open your eyes and you kept quiet, then you owe Nigerians explanation, because this money belongs to Nigeria, not anybody. So that's what that thing they call turnaround maintenance, I call it stealing in high places, and they must answer for it.
My question is, 11.35 trillion naira could have built another refinery.
Exactly, my sister.
And should we still be looking at fixing them, or we should move on to other things?
Now, you see, I don't believe anything is not doable until I've tried it and I have failed. Let experts.
But we have tried it.
No, I don't think we tried it very well, because I smell rats. I believe very strongly that some people deliberately tampered with those refineries. They deactivated the refineries. They deliberately crippled the refineries not to work, so that they may be stealing. They will have have their monumental stealings, which they have done.
So the refinery is not working. It's not for lack of investment. It's just there's been still in high places.
Yes.
All right, let's take a story out of the Vanguard newspaper. It says we considered cost, durability, Nigerian roads before choosing land cruisers. And this is according to the chairman Senate Services Committee, Sunday Karimi, APC Kogi West. Now, he's dismissing the public outcry over the purchase of Prado Land Cruiser sport utility vehicles for 469 federal lawmakers. He says it is misplaced for the public to be crying about it. Now, this conversation is centering around Nigerians didn't fight against ministers enjoying the same benefits. Why are they fighting us? Because we want to enjoy the same thing. And he specifically said, and I quote, somebody that is a minister has more than 3 Land Cruisers, Prado, and other vehicles, and you're not asking them questions. Why us? Does this not speak to entitlement of our so-called lawmakers making such comparison like it is absolutely their rights? Can I afford to buy a Land Cruiser because the road is bad? And most importantly, is buying Land Cruisers the solution to our bad roads?
If it were in a sane climb, that person should have been sent home. He's so rude to Nigerians. That lawmaker is not certainly rude to Nigerians. He's rude for telling us that our cries against their buying the Land Cruiser is misplaced. It's rude to say that they considered bad roads in Nigeria before they decided to buy Land Cruiser. Now, what is your duty as a government if the roads are bad and you want to insulate yourself from the badness of the road? So it is the masses who own the money that you are wasting that should be spending their paltry sums, their hard-earned money, paltry sums of money that they have on maintenance of roads, of vehicles, because of your ineptitude, because you refuse to do the needful. And you are taking humongous salaries. So to tell us that it's because of bad road that you decided to buy that that brand of car is another insult on Nigerians. Another thing that he did is that he is saying that it is their right to ride that kind of that type of car. It is not their right at all. We are the owners of the vehicle, of the money rather, that they want to spend buying the vehicle. We are the owner of the office, the chambers where you people are congregating. So, and Nigerians own their tongue with which they sent it to those chambers to represent them, and you are misrepresenting them, and you are even adding salt upon injury, insulting Nigerians. Then for you to make comparison, irresponsible comparison
with the minister
between yourself and the minister.
Says the ministers have 3 SUVs.
Who shall we blame if not the president, who allocated four SUV cars to a minister, aside from other perks of office? In a time like this, where a minister should even ride something that is below what they are riding now, and just one car per minister. But this shows that these people who say they are representing us are not representing us. They are representing their pockets and their families. 2, it shows that Nigerians are fatherless. We are orphans. Because if we are not orphans, the ministers will not be enjoying when we are suffering. The lawmakers will not be legitimizing what is not legitimate, what is wrong in a time like this when Nigerians are suffering and the entire country is bleeding, and Nigerians themselves are profusely bleeding, and you are laughing to banks and then buying that kind of car to strengthen the economy of another country. Even if you want to buy, we manufacture cars in this country. You will not buy what we have in this country. And then you are strengthening the economy of another country. So everything that lawmaker said is grossly irresponsible, and it's unfortunate that somebody allowed him to talk. That kind of a person should be withdrawn by his constituency. Because he has insulted us.
Well, I mean, the recall process is a very complex one. Looking at that provision in the Constitution, very complex. Unfortunately, many voters in different constituencies or central district don't even know how to go about the process. I remember the last time it was tried, I think it was Dino Melai that people wanted to recall, and it didn't see the light of day eventually. But where I'm going is, I like the composition of the current National Assembly, right, both in the Senate and the House of Representatives, because it has, an influx of new lawmakers who came on the back of new political party movement whose message to Nigerians was that they were going to do things differently. So some would say that if you promised or campaigned on that premise that you do things differently, maybe you should start leading by example, because they would also benefit from this large years, regardless of the fact that the APC and the PDP have been tagged as the two parties that have looted or fleeced these resources of Nigerians. So, do you expect these lawmakers who got elected on the platform of these new political parties or new bloc or new movement to campaign on the premise of being different, to make an example by staging a walkout, for instance, making a statement and rejecting these vehicles?
I have two answers to that question. One, human beings are innately wicked.
Regardless of the platform.
Regardless of the platform. We are so deceptive. Those ones who said they were going to do some things differently.
Yes.
They are human beings. So they got to the chambers, they saw how beautiful, how highly decorated it is, and their pay packets, they saw how fat it is. Then they will keep quiet because they have been given sumptuous meal. That is one. Two, there is what we call tyranny of the majority. Don't forget that PDP and APC are in the majority in the house. So if you talk about APM, Labour, and all these ones, they are obviously in the minority. What can they do? Even if they decide to do something good, what can they do when you have the tyranny of a majority? So those are the two angles I've seen.
Okay.
That question.
Yeah. Well, let's quickly move away from that now. The Ondo State Governor Rotimi Akeredolu has been, working remotely, if you like, since he got back to the country after his medical vacation. His colleagues in the Southwest came here to Ibadan to visit him yesterday. In the middle of all of that, there's been an impeachment battle that the deputy governor is facing. The former Kano State Governor Abdullahi Ganduje is saying, look, to take care of this constant rift between governors and their deputy, maybe we should have a specific role for the deputy. So two things now I want to get your thought on. First, on the governor not being in the state to actually govern the people. Some say, there's no vacuum in government, things are running, even though the governor is not there physically, and then his deputy facing this impeachment threat. It's not the first time we've seen deputies leave office. In fact, in some cases, we've seen 6 or 5 lawmakers impeach a deputy governor before, just to do the bidding of the governor. We'll see all kinds of charges leveled against them. So two things now. How to resolve this, recurring rift between deputies and their bosses, and then the governor of Ondo State working outside of the state.
All right, we need to take a commercial break. Yeah. When we return, we'll dive into that story. Just stay with us.
We fill the world with laughter. We are 32 FM 94.9.
Hey driver, make up to 250,000 naira every week. Download INDrive to give rights to people in Nigeria and start making money. Average driver's weekly revenue based on making 15 trips daily after subtracting license fee, according to INDrive statistics in 2023.
I have a little cough, sir, in my little chest, sir. Anytime I cough, sir, it makes a heavy sound,
I
sir.
see. You have a cough. I know just what you need. I'll give you Uniplex. It will clear your chest fast. Fast, fast, fast. Clear your chest fast.
Uniplex. Uniplex.
Uniplex cough syrup gives you relief from sore throat, cold and chesty coughs. Manufactured by DENIKE Industries Limited. Uniplex cough syrup is for children and adults.
Uniplex. Uniplex.
If symptoms persist after 2 days, consult your doctor.
Mọ́mí wa, ṣìbẹ̀ mọ̀ wípé mílìkì ń bẹ nínú Milo. Milo Active Go tí àwọn ọmọdé fẹ́ràn gan ń fún wọn ní ìdá 15 káṣíọ̀mù tí wọ́n nílò lójoojúmọ́. Káṣíọ̀mù ń jẹ́ kí egun àwọn ọmọ le, ó sì ń ṣe wọ́n láàyè àǹfààní mìíràn. Milo, okun láti tẹ̀síwájú.
Milo. Àdúrà ń gbà ọ́ lórí òkè ìyá. Ògo àtọ́pẹ́ kó máa jẹ́ tolúwa lórí òkè ìyanu Ìlara Ẹ̀pẹ́. Ọdọọdún ni annual marathon miracle festival programs máa ń wáyé. Ọjọ́ mẹ́ta gbáko pẹ̀lú ọ̀kan òjọ̀kan ètò lórí òkè ìyanu Ìlara Ẹ̀pẹ́ láti gbólúwaga àkòrí glory to glory 2023 lábẹ́ àkóso bishop and prophetess Lucas tolúwandò ní sáwa 25, 26, 27 October 2023 lọ́jọ́ àkọ́kọ́ ẹ pàdé prophet Sam Ojo, prophet Fẹ́mi Òní, prophet Taiwo Ojo níbi tí àdúrà túnde yóò ti máa rọ̀jò wọ̀wọ̀ mẹ́wàá àárọ̀ dago mẹ́wàá alẹ́ lọ́jọ́ kejì evangelist Tọ́pẹ́ Àlàbí, evangelist Ebenezer Obey, pastor Adélakùn Ayẹwà Mayowa, Danny Melody, Chigozi Wisdom, Adegbodu Twins, Danny Justify, Remileko Amos, Elijah Akintade, Ọlọ́run sọ bẹ́ẹ̀, Agomewa Aros, Agomewa Alẹ́, Mọ́jọ́ kẹta, àṣekágbá ló gbé gbogbo ẹ̀rù, October 28, 2023, Rose Love Foundation Empowerment 2023, níbi tí gbogbo ẹni tó kù díẹ̀ káàtó fún ti gba òbítíbitì ẹ̀bùn pẹ̀lú ọ̀kan òjọ̀kan olórin ẹ̀mí, ọ̀rọ̀ tìǹlẹ́nu Lanre Da Silva àti Dr. Ọlọ́ládé Valentine, Màmá Olúṣọlá Ọbaṣádá Alága.
Telephone 070-5945-8718.
Ìpàdé di Mountain of Miracle, Ìlara Ìpẹ́, àmọ́ retí yín o, olùgbàlejò àgbà, Bishop and Prophetess Lucas.
The word is out. From the glistening beaches to the glamorous city streets. The Real Housewives of Lagos season 2 is here. Your favorites, Chioma, Iyabo, Laura, Mariam, and Toyin, return to bring you even more charm, style, and drama. While Faith and Tanya join Echo's elite and add some extra spice. Subscribe from 1,200 Naira monthly. Sign up now at showmax.com.
My son has a football match at school today, but looks tired already. Wearing his boots slowly, like someone turned down our playback speed. But with Golden Penny Choco, he eventually comes alive. Now Junior is back on his feet to take on his day. Cause I make breakfast time, Choco time.
Golden Penny Choco for everyday energy.
Give malaria a double punch of artesunate and Amodia Queen. An effective combination that Camosunate. Camosunator. Camosunate is anti-malaria therapy. Camosunate. And you will bounce back to life. Camosunate. Comes in 4 different parts for different age groups. Below 1 year, 1 to 6 years, 7 to 13 years, 14 and above. Camosunator. Camosunate.
Camosunate, effective anti-malaria for all ages. Marketed by Janet Pharmaceuticals Limited.
If symptoms persist after 3 days, please see your doctor. Read the leaflet inside.
32 FM 94.9. Filling the world with laughter.
Welcome back, Papers View on 32 FM 94.9, your laughter station. Let's quickly get back to our analyst in the house to respond to the question I raised before we went on that commercial break.
Okay.
So,
if Governor Akeredolu, if he were 100% or even 90% okay, he wouldn't have left Germany. That he left Germany and is hibernating somewhere in Nigeria.
In Ibadan.
Okay. And he has not gone back to his table in Akure. Shows that he was not 100% okay before he left Germany. Now, there must be something that triggered him to leave his medical handlers in Germany before he came to Nigeria. He rushed back to Nigeria. Now, if it were insane climb, Akeredolu would have thrown in the towel. He would have resigned. Or people would have forced him to resign. Because running government is a serious business. But here in Nigeria, we trivialize everything. And we politicize everything. Now, instead of the people of the state, the indigenous of the state and the state assembly to tell Akeredolu to resign, they are now telling the deputy to resign. So, I think it is warped. This thing is very, very warped. So, if Akeredolu knows that he's unable, he's not able to pilot the affairs of that state, please let him resign and let the state carry on.
Okay.
Our number is 0705 5000 949 and 0809 700949 to share your thoughts on any of the stories, headlines this morning. We're also live on Facebook. It's 32FM 949 Ibadan. Timothy Okoria says, good morning, DENIKE, Mr. Femi. What they have there is monumental stealing and they don't want us to talk about it, but we must talk about it until they stop the nonsense. Nigeria is blessed beyond measure, just that we have wicked government. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. We can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, morning. We can hear you.
Yes. I just want to comment on the statement credited to National Assembly. He said that they are justified for purchase towards the people of 160 million naira. When the people are suffering, They said it is because of bad road. When the road is bad, how can they fix it? If you bought a car of 1 billion and the road is bad, the thing will spoil again. They are insensitive to the plight of the people who are living in abject poverty, suffocating penury, and material intelligence. And legislators said that we are buying 150 million naira people. I said they are justified. It's not, they are not justified. They are killing the people. On the issue of tax reform, which Mr. President said that they are going to implement, the possible tax in Nigeria are killing business. It is better they harmonize everything. That's my comment in this one. Have a nice day.
All right, thank you.
0705 5000 949 and 0809 7949.
Okay, we have a comment here. Raji Afiz Abiola Raja says, Morning DENIKE and TOBA. About the life imprisonment of the Lagos doctor over deflowering a 16-year-old girl. Honestly, I commend the judgment. How I wish this kind of judgment is extended to the Nigerian politicians and other people who are siphoning Nigerian money. It will correct a lot of things and everybody will change their way. We can't continue to do things the same way and expect a different result. Our laws need to be worked upon. Yeah.
Hello, good morning.
I'm John Uzo, thank you. Good morning, Elder Senu. Well, what is happening in those should not surprise you. You remember the Taraba State government some years ago, what happened to Baba Sultan, the former governor who had a plane crash problem. He was there for many years. And but the power to remove a state governor belongs to the state house of assembly. If you talk of the law. I want to talk about the House calling out and clear to come and give account of such a huge amount was spent. Yes, they will do their work, but at the end of the day, I can assure Nigeria that the Pope will end up being exercised in stupidity. Let me say it once again. I hate talking about this to the refineries. I've told the Nigerians that new refineries were deliberately sabotaged because according to experts, new refineries were supposed to last for 25 years before they can develop any fault. But they are claiming that the refineries are faulty and billions of naira would be needed to repair them, while the money for the maintenance is enough to build even the new ones. So sabotage and corruption is the main problem why our refineries are not working. They have promised us the refineries will work is going to be short-lived because that sabotage, no one has been able to deal with it. Thank you, John. That's my name.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We take some more reactions on Facebook.
Sulaiman Sheriff says, Morning DENIKE and Lauren Toba. What a perfect combination. Most of our politicians lack the political will and capacity to do the needful for the masses. Our politicians must adopt austerity measures and not buy up jeeps from outside the country and export jobs.
Hello, good morning.
DENIKE, good morning. Lauren Toba.
Morning.
Good morning. Starting with the refinery turnaround, NEIT has actually done a great job on the probes and things. Probably we should all go and find. And nothing, I repeat, nobody said. I said they have turned me to a pessimist. So I think I still see nothing coming out of it. Why? Who will do the probe? Is it not the same politicians that are doing solidarity with themselves? Let's look at it. And for the National Assembly, of course, Mr. Femi, we are not the owner of the money. They are the owners of Nigeria. They dictate to us, the owners. So it's in a Senate land that you will say the people own the money. Here, the politicians own the money. So they decide what they want and just flounce it at our face. So definitely the car, they will still get it. And there is nothing we will do. We need to ask, like I asked the other day, how do we get them to now make sure they do what we want? These are actually what we should start looking at. Because if we keep shouting from here till tomorrow, they will still do what they will do. Look at the arrogance of the spokesman. Good morning. This is okay.
Morning. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, the number is 0705 5000 949 and 0809 7000 949. Facebook is facebook.com/32FM 949 to drop your reactions. Ayoride Dawotola says it is most ridiculous for such a reason that the roads are bad and that was why they went for SUVs. So fixing the roads is not reasonable enough. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Jingamari calling from Akwata. Of course, they knew that the roads are bad. And are they ever move emotion to that effect? Are they ever move emotion that is going to sanction the Minister of Works or that they're going to make emotion to that the roads in Nigeria should be fixed properly? And they are telling us that they are purchasing that SUV because the roads are bad. Of course, they are using our money to buy it. And I want to, the last guy that said the money is not ours for the politicians. The money is ours. It's ours. We pay the tax, and from the taxes, they get their fund.
So I'm calling on them not to buy that SUV because they are using our money to enrich themselves, and they are using our money to buy themselves SUV cars. Look at the normal roads here in Ibadan. 11 people. Those are Jeep. The Jeep cannot longer be motorable. So this thing is absurd. And so can only happen here in a country called Nigeria. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Femi, I just wanted to quickly get your reaction to EFCC chairman ordering operatives to declare assets. He says from level 17 downward, he's declared his and that he wants them to declare their assets. And would you say that he has, this is a good road or good route and this is a way to start? Is this a transparency bait? And what happens, for instance, if he finds people on his team with unaccountable wealth? Will there be naming? Will there be shaming? Will there be thorough cleanup?
If I'm not mistaken, this is the first time this kind of thing has happened. And I think it's so good that Olukoyede is starting from this premise. Yes, there are dogs that watch politicians and Nigerians generally, but the dog must be seen to be clean. So it is very, very good. And I believe it's going to start from in-house. Let judgment start from the office of EFCC. Anyone that Olukoyede has discovered to have gotten wealth that he cannot account for should be sanctioned heavily according to law. And when he does that, then Nigerians will take caution.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Efemi Olukule, for doing this with us this morning. Thank you, dear listener. I am Adenike Ademuwagu.
And I am Lawrence Oba Yusuf. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.